Hey guys, JFID MilSim here. I'm Patriot.
I'm FireRate Magnet.
And today we're going to discuss our KWA weapons. I have an SR7.
And I have an SR10.
And we're also going to discuss the magazines we use in those weapons.
I used the KWA standard mid-caps.
And I used the EMAG and the PMAG. So I hope you guys enjoy the video.
Okay guys, so we're going to start first with the SR10. It's the bigger of the two. This is more, in comparison to say the SR7, this is more of the field gun in more than say the SR7. The SR7 of the two would be more of a close quarter. Not necessarily as we find out, but yeah, so this is more the battle rifle one. And the first thing I want to say is, man, does this thing feel great. The weight of it's very good, the materials are great. I mean, it's KWA, what do you expect, you know? But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. The way I'm going to structure this review for this gun is, first off, I'm going to talk about what it's advertised as, you know, the price, the FPS, the range. Then I'm going to talk about what I've actually found it has been, because I found that two seem to be actually quite different. And then I'm going to talk about what I've done to the gun, actually attachments and internals and externals wise. I got this gun off of evike.com. I think it's advertised at about $350. You know, I'm going to say this early. Yeah, it's worth that money. But it is a little pricier to some. So the inner barrel length is about 425 millimeters. See, evike.com says it weighs about 6.5 pounds. I think that's pretty correct. Has 6-point retractable stock. I'll get to this, but yeah, this is good. Has a little bit of a wobble, but I mean, what do you expect? It's a crane stock. Pretty much all of them have that. You know, full metal for the most part. There are some polymer parts as the pistol grip, obviously. See, you know, KWA trademark with the serial numbers and stuff as usual. The gun does not come with a battery, I'm pretty sure, from evike.com. I personally use 9.6 batteries in this. I have yet to put Dean's connectors into it, but I would highly recommend it. The iron sights that come with it are the standard KWA iron sights. They're good. I know the earlier models of this gun, I guess a couple years back, actually had flip-up sights, which was fantastic. Unfortunately, they don't do that anymore. I'm not sure why, but they just don't. I wish I got one that did. But they're still fantastic. The orange tip is this part. The flash title's metal with the orange tip just painted over the metal. You can take this off to get the 14mm negative threads that put, like, say, suppressor and stuff on it. I have not attempted to. Personally, I really wouldn't want a suppressor on here due to the, you know, a couple extra inches of the barrel actually extending out above the rifle, outside of the rifle's rail system. Trying to think of the range and FPS. The FPS advertises at about 380 FPS. I think that's with .2s. Then the range, it might be, you know, the standard, you know, 200 feet per se, something like that. As you know, yeah. But now with that, that's what the website advertises. From what I've seen, when I've actually gotten this gun and tested it out, I found quite a couple things differently about it. First off, I've only chronographed this once with .25s, and it was a paintball chronograph. So it said it was about like 340, 350 FPS. Personally, I don't think that's very accurate. The .25s, I think you could probably get about 350, 360, maybe 370 out of this, but not too much more, but a little higher than just 350. The range, I have got this out at about 160 plus feet with relative accuracy. You can get farther, but at that point you're kind of rainbowing the gun, kind of arching the BBs, you know. But with, you know, maybe aiming just like just right at the person's head and hitting them maybe at chest level, that type of aiming, you can definitely get 160, 170 feet out of it. So yeah, the range and accuracy is phenomenal. For what I found the gun, when I shoot the BBs, to tend to a little bit to the left, but at least it's still very accurate. Trying to think what else. Again, I use a 9.6 volt battery with this. I'm hoping to go Dean's for it eventually. If you pause it. So yeah, I use 9.6 battery. See, again, the magazines I use are the KWA standard mid caps. I'll get back to these right in a minute, but those are phenomenal mags. I highly recommend them, especially for a KWA gun, of course. I guess some just added features here. I already mentioned the collapsible stock. It has, you know, this, I guess it ejects a gemmed shell on the real one. It doesn't do anything, but they have it right here. It also has the carry handle. The charge. So the pros and cons of this gun. I guess I'll start with the cons first. The cons is when you put the battery into it, even though it can go all the way like this without the battery, the retractable stock, you get about midway, about right there, and that's as far as it will go. If the battery kind of gets crushed and stuff, so you can't really go too much further. Thankfully, I never go all the way down when I'm actually playing. I usually go from the second to last position. See, another con to this would be, pause it. Gosh. Now, I'm going to start with the pros and cons. I guess I'll do the cons first, because honestly, they're really short. First off, the crane stock battery is great, and has a lot of positions, but if you put the battery into it, you can only get about to the midway point, and then anything to that, it can't do it because the battery gets stuck and jammed inside it and just won't let you. It's a little bit of a con, but I never bring the buttstock that low in games, so usually I go to second from last, I'm fine, it doesn't bother me. The only other con I have for it is the hop-up. You know, personally, hop-ups in general really bug me. It's kind of hard to mess with those. I'd rather a gun that shoots completely straight. You know, that's something that every airsoft gun has to worry about. So that's hardly even a con. The pros to this, honestly, it's phenomenal. The performance is fantastic, especially for a field where you need a field style of gameplay where it's a lot more longer distance. You can still use it for CQB and pretty much any other game mode you want, except maybe a support class. One thing I do know is the internals in this, that KWA has made it to where it's it protects itself from shooting too much and mess up the gun, the design of the gun. So its rate of fire is about 18 BBs a second. That's, you know, still fantastic. You know, more pros is the build's solid, absolutely fantastic. I mean, fantastic quality. Again, accuracy, range are good. Yeah. Now, with that, now I'm going to talk about what things I have done with the gun. Now, internally, I've only had this gun for about 2 months, and I haven't done too much internally. What I'm hoping to do is not really mess with too much the gearbox or motor or anything like that, but mainly more of things that can help me get more, get certain parts of my gun more accuracy without messing with FPS, such as a tight bore, some buckings, and probably some Deans in the battery. Now, with me mentioning the barrel, evite.com advertises this in some of the videos at this gun having a 6.03 tight bore barrel with it. What I found was the KWA manual came with the gun, and KWA stated that this gun actually had a 6.05 standard barrel in it. So that's one thing to be aware of. I thought, you know, when I got this, I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to have a tight bore barrel with it, but actually it seems it doesn't. So that's one thing you do have to keep in mind when getting this. But again, that's just a minor thing. You know, I'm going to get a tight bore in it for it anyway. So I highly recommend it. Great quality stuff. Again, I've put an aim point on it, some rail covers. But that's pretty much it. Another thing, though, is the mags I use, and that is the KWA standard mid-cap at 120 rounds. First thing I want to say is these mags are flawless. You stick your mag in here, and you know, of course, every mag, a couple BBs are going to come out if you actually had BBs in here. But actual BBs staying in the mag, there were none. All the BBs have come out and fired, or at the very least outside the mag. Good quality mags, good polymer feel. You know, I could chunk these on cement and nothing's going to happen to them. You know, so I highly recommend them. Highly recommend the gun. For the price, it's definitely worth it. And, you know, this is definitely one of the most popular guns on the market for airsoft guns, and I completely agree. So, yeah. Shit.
Oh.
Do it again. Alright, do it again.
The source.
Okay.
Alright, ready, set, go. Well, that concludes our video, guys. Thanks for watching, and this is JFID MilSim. Subscribe. Thank you. Operate.